Hi, I'm Aaron Fethian, founder of Matatika. We help companies large and small do more with their data. Many companies use standard reports distributed on a daily or weekly basis to check up on their business, but can only dream of using their data to predict what's going to happen. Well, this is where I think we can help. In the next 2 minutes, I'm going to show you how a data scientist can pull data out of your private Matatika Workspace and perform some predictive analytics. We saw in one of the other videos, those results can then be published back to the workspace so your whole team can be alerted when things are getting off track. I'll put links to the example in the video notes and I'll open up comments in case you have any questions. Okay, let's get started. Here we are on the Matatika documentation part of the website, and under the example section you'll find the fetch data into a Jupyter Notebook example. What we need to do is open up the Jupyter Notebook, which is in our Git repository, and to do that I'm going to use Google's collaboratory environment here to open up the notebook. But before I do that, this is the data set, and this is my workspace. You can see here that I have total number of users for every day for the last 100 days or so. And what I want to do is figure out what's a normal number of users and then alert us if there's anything outside of the range, whether that's fewer or more than we expect. So this is the example here, Jupyter Fetch, simple example. I open that up and a notebook is ready to run, and all you need to do is fill in some of the variables for your workspace. So you can see here that the first step is to install the Matatika client library. I then simply check the version to make sure it's installed. Prints out 130, that's good. And then import the client library. I'm ready to create this client object. And what I need is an auth token to connect to the catalog. I can get that from the API keys. Copy that. Put it into the auth token variable, and now when I run it, I have a client that's ready to connect to that workspace. The only other thing I need here is the dataset ID. So if I look at this dataset here, this is my ID in the URL. It's the easiest way to grab it. Pop that into the dataset ID variable. Now when I've run it, we've fetched the data for this dataset ID, and one of the things that we can do in Python is plot that into a chart straight away. So that's its plot there. If I just want to have a look at it, of course I can use data frame head, and this will just show me the first few rows and what they contain. So you can see it contains a month, a day, and a total number of users. Now as it gets a little bit more interesting. I plot this total number of users by day, but I then add 2 columns. So I'll just run that. Here I'm adding a rolling average, and the window is the last 7 days. So what I'm doing is saying, over the last 7 days, I expect a certain number of users, and let's make the threshold percentage, which we're going to plot as a nice chart, 70%. So when I run this now, I've got 2 new columns, which is an upper and lower band, and I can see here that at 70%, it's starting to predict for us what the expected number of users are. So on this day here, when we got a lot more visitors, that was unusual and might be something worth looking at. On this day here, we got far fewer than normal, and that might be something worth looking at. So sharing this information with our team can give us a good idea when something's on track or when something out of the ordinary is happening. The next step, of course, is to alert on that, which is to alert on that behavior. And you don't even need to watch the data then. You can start to predict when things are going well and look at them and act appropriately. So thank you for watching that short example. I'd love to hear your feedback. Just put a comment in the video, like the video, or contact us through the website. Thanks very much for watching.